everybody, I'm Joe the Disney Guy, now in a new location, and welcome to my very first Top 10 episode. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, I thought we should look at one of Disney's specialties, love songs. Some of the most memorable aspects of Disney movies are the songs, and one of the most popular themes in Disney songs is love. So I thought, what better time to look at my top 10 Disney love songs than in the month of love, February. A few rules and regulations though before we get started. First, songs from all Disney and Pixar films, animated and live action, are eligible, and I'm only allowing one song per movie. Second, the song must be about romantic love, not maternal or friendly love. So, sorry guys, you'll probably have to wait for another day. Third, I made my rankings based on the quality of the song, its effectiveness as a love song, and its ability to be used as a love song outside of just the movie. And finally, as always, these are my opinions, so undoubtedly you will have a different top 10 than me, and that's okay. So with all that out of the way, let's get going on to the list.
But when it's gone, love goes on.
Number 10. Babble Evangeline from The Princess and the Frog. I've always had a soft spot for Ray's love song to Evangeline. And yes, I know that Evangeline is a star, but in some ways, Ray's devotion to something that we as the audience know he can never truly have is an odd blend of both heartbreaking and heartwarming. And I mean, the title of the song is My Beauty Evangeline in French, so that has to count for bonus points, right? The song is more than just an ode to the titular Evangeline as well, celebrating the idea of love and how wonderful it is. My Babble Evangeline is short, sweet, and a beautiful ballad to undying love, even when that love seems out of reach.
You're my queen of the night, so still.
Number 9. So This Is Love from Cinderella. This song is a little bit different in that it isn't so much a song about a person, but rather about the feeling of love itself. The song talks about how love is what makes life divine, and how love can make you feel like you're floating on air. I also particularly liked the humming in the song, as it felt appropriate to the theme of the feeling of love. Of course, all that being said, the fact that it is the first ever true duet between a Disney prince and a princess gives the song a little extra significance, both in terms of Disney lore and as a love song in general. So while many love songs talk about how great love is, So This Is Love is one of the only Disney songs that talks about how great love feels, and for that, it warrants the number 9 spot on my list.
My heart has wings, and I can fly.
Number 8. Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King. A bit of a foray into the more traditional love ballad is this classic number from The Lion King. And yes, I'm looking at the Elton John version of the song. Timon and Pumbaa kind of lamenting their friend falling in love sort of defeats the purpose of this whole list in my mind. What can you say about the song? It's pretty, it's emotional. Really, it talks about how love can affect just about anyone. The line about how love can make even kings and vagabonds believe the very best is probably my favorite, because it expresses how the love the singer is feeling is so powerful that even those with the coldest of hearts can feel its strength. And even the end of the song gives the message of hope that love will find everyone, in due time. Can You Feel the Love Tonight is definitely a simple song, but it's still powerful nonetheless.
And can you feel the love?
Number 7. Bella Notte from Lady and the Tramp. This song is probably the simplest of any on the list, but I'd argue that it's just as, if not more, memorable than any of the others. Bella Notte, for the Italian uninclined, means beautiful night, and that's exactly what the song describes, a beautiful, romantic night. Man, first French and now Italian? We're getting a crash course on the romantic languages, aren't we? Take notes, guys. It talks about that perfect atmosphere that makes you want to just grab your loved one and go out for a candlelit dinner. Add in how the song scores what's possibly the most recognizable and copied of all Disney romantic moments, and you have yourself an ideal love song in Bella Notte. Number 6. Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. When you talk about classic scenes in Disney history, one of the first images that comes to mind is the ballroom scene from Beauty and the Beast. So naturally, the song that scores such an iconic love scene has to be an iconic love song. And iconic really is the right word, because just listen. I hear that and immediately get goosebumps. You know exactly what song it is from just those few notes, and if that doesn't signify being iconic, then I don't know what does. As for the rest of the song, the story of unexpected love is always a favorite, and it probably contains one of the best ways to describe a love story, a tale as old as time. Beauty and the Beast contains plenty of classic, memorable, and romantic moments, but I don't think that any top this love ballad.
As old as time, so
as old as rhyme. Beauty.
Number 5. I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules. This is probably the most unique love song in Disney's history, as it's a love song about refusing to admit being in love. I think that there's an inherent truth to this song, and that's what makes it endearing to a lot of people. It's not talking about love at first sight or the ideal storybook love story, but rather talks about how Meg in this case has been hurt in the past and is refusing to open her heart again for fear of what may happen. This is a situation that I think a lot more people go through than experience love at first sight, and I think that that's what helps this song connect with a lot of people. But of course, it all comes full circle at the end, when it becomes apparent that try as you might, you just can't deny love. The Motown style of this song also helps differentiate I Won't Say I'm in Love from any other love song, both on this list and in general, and it's just the icing on the cake of what is a fun, well put together song.
I won't say I'm in love.
Number 4. Candle on the Water from Pete's Dragon. I'll be honest, I never watched Pete's Dragon as a kid, so the song was sort of off my radar for years, but I am glad that I eventually found it, because Candle on the Water really is one of the better love songs in Disney's library. As with most of the other songs on this list, the story being told by the music is the best and most powerful part of the whole song. Nora standing alone at the lighthouse singing out to her lost lover is gut-wrenching at times, but the message being shared is so beautiful that it takes precedent over the sadness. The song tells of how devoted and endless Nora's love is, even for someone who she hasn't seen in so long. The idea of love being so powerful that it can actually guide a lost sailor home is also quite the romantic notion, and the whole thing makes for just a pretty, oftentimes underappreciated song.
I'll be your candle on the water.
Number 3. A Whole New World from Aladdin. Quite possibly Disney's most popular song in its entire library is also one of its best love songs. The song really is a masterpiece and is the quintessential duet in terms of Disney songs. The song really shows the beginning of a relationship better than I think any other song on this list. It's not talking about realizing what was in front of you or love at first sight, but it's about all of the wonderful things that the couple will experience. And it's not just promises like taking her every wonder by wonder or giving her a magic carpet ride. Though let's be honest, if you could offer a magic carpet ride, it probably wouldn't hurt your chances. It's more about the promise of experiencing all of these things together, and there's something beautiful about that. And it's also about how being with that special someone can really be like entering a whole new world, full of excitement and wonder and enchantment. There's a reason why A Whole New World is still so beloved all these years later, and that's because it captures the magic, both of Disney music and of new love.
For you and me.
Number 2. I See the Light from Tangled. I remember watching this scene in the theaters and thinking, this is the next great Disney song. I mean, everything about the scene that's being scored is perfect, much less the song itself. The wordplay of literally seeing the light in the lanterns, as well as symbolically seeing the light in terms of love, is fantastic. I also enjoy this simple music to help highlight the power of the vocals and the emotion of the lyrics. The story of realization that the song tells is beautiful as well. Talking about how they were looking for something that they didn't know they already had, I think can resonate with a lot of people, and the idea of it is so romantic that you can't help but crack a smile listening to this song. The perfection of how the two voices blend in this duet is just a cherry on top, and makes this song one that you can listen to over and over and over again. I See the Light was the first big moment ballad that Disney had released in years, and personally, I think they knocked it out of the park. And the number 1 Disney love song is So Close from Enchanted. Enchanted is the reason why I had to enforce the 1 song per movie rule, as the film has a host of great love songs, both goofy and heartfelt, but in my personal opinion, So Close blows them all away. The song's title again has a double meaning, referring to the closeness of the characters physically, but also how close they are to that famous happy end. But the juxtaposition of being so close and yet still so far, as the song says, is the best part of the whole song to me, as it can mean a lot of different things. My interpretation of the line is a comment on how they still have so far to go in terms of time, together as a couple. The song also does a great job blending together the fairy tale love story and a bit more of a real-world love story. It tells the tale of someone who stopped believing in love, or at least believing in the romanticized version of it, until he found the one person who helped him believe again. And aside from the lyrics, the music also tells the story as well, starting off soft and delicate with a piano, like the character who is lost and given up on love, before the trumpets kick in, ending triumphantly and hopeful. I just love how this song is put together, and I think it encompasses everything that I want in a love song, which is why, for my money, So Close is the best love song Disney has ever released. Well guys, that about wraps it up for me this week. I hope you all enjoyed, because this really was a tough list for me to put together. I left off a lot of songs that I personally enjoy, and I even restructured the list as I was writing it based on my own parameters, because some songs just fit as love songs better than other ones. So let me know what you think of the list, and let me know what songs you would have put on there, what your top 10 would look like. Sorry about not having a video last week. Again, I am in a new place and I didn't have internet connection last week. Though I did put a message on my Twitter, so if you're not following that yet, you should. It's in the links down below. And as always guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out my last video and next week's video. And I'll see you all next week.
So far